character sheet.
Ambiance. I just remembered I lost one of my die behind my desk last week, and I forgot to grab it at some point.
Oh, it was a
It's just a
D20. 'Cause
D10.
now it's, oh.
You think that's the only set of dice I have? Fool. You silly goose. Alright, friends. So, who would like to do our recap this week?
I can take this one.
Alright. Hit us.
Alright. After a talk with Paladin Captain Erlen Drellis, Bishop Roland Maylor pulled us inside the temples for further discussion on what happened and what the next steps look like. Duncan showed the bishop the mark of the wild gods thrown to him from Pyval. Was told to keep it hidden, with the majority of the crowd thinking we are the ones responsible for what happened. Oh, this is a long one. My mistake. Currently seen as the most guilty of the attendants, and with only 2,487 people that have arrived at the temple, we are currently to be judged by a Solar Knight Paladin, Jebka. Without knowing if her judicial sorcery will cause another explosion similar to Pyval, the group requests a judgment in front of the people with room between the audience. After the bishops left, Brun warns the group to be careful around the Sun Knight, with a slight warning that this may be the worst option after the interrogations they have had in the past. With Brun able to get a rest in with a few pews, Navos and Thane discuss a few histories with Duncan. So we're going to skip this so Brun doesn't get to know.
Yes!
So where do we pick up at?
For the cannon.
I appreciate the communal commitment to no. Brun doesn't get this.
Even the mayor.
You get none of this.
I could deafen Curtis.
I could deafen myself.
Yeah, that's more fun if I do it. Strike you deaf.
Is he deafened?
Oh,
I mean, we could. Unless
He is
if
deafened.
If you guys want it. Okay.
Yep, he's deafened.
Unless you read lips.
Navis remembers that they are at least 60 years old, possibly older. With many memories buried in the past, they have seen objects move and appear in which they shouldn't have. In addition to his name not appearing on Marlos's sign-in sheet, chairs appearing in the bar. Chairs appeared in the bar fight, and the strange images in the main stage illusion. The explosion for Pyval seems to be the worst of them, if it is indeed something that may have come from Navos, which he isn't too sure himself. Thane pulled out a mask of a mind flayer that they received from a woman with a lisp. A note written on it in Undercommon. Navos was able to read some of the sentence. In the darkness, where faces fall away, we're all connected. And okay, Curtis can come back in.
Curtis!
He's still
Oh,
deaf
no.
and I can see him this thing.
Yeah, because he deafened himself, so I can't
Oh.
undeafen him.
No idea.
Good, let's just
Oh,
keep
no.
playing. We'll keep playing until he undeafens himself. He's like, how long is this
Somebody-
recap for?
Somebody start throwing hand signs. My camera can't do that yet.
You can unmute yourself. Hello. Hello, hey. Hey, you're good. Yeah, you.
I'm allowed
You.
back in?
Unmute yourself so we can undeafen you.
Needing a rest after a long day's trip, Thane carved a piece of wood until their head fell flat. While Duncan recited a prayer with the fellow paladins, Navos overheard the traveling druids trying to escape the temple to find Yurgison. Navos, able to enter an entry into his journal without a sore head, asked for forgiveness. As Duncan returned to the pews, they were stopped by Stroth Firebrand, the owner of the animals in Quinala and Duga's stables, thankful that the group was able to calm them instead of outright killing. With a good few hours, Stroth was able to teach Duncan and Navos how to create woodsman healing salves. Something necessary until the DM lets us level up, hopefully 3 levels. Before the morning bird sounds, the remaining of the group were able to come to comfort, if only for a moment. And now, whatever this nightmare is going to be.
A
So we press on.
nightmare, please. Excellent recap. Anything to add from the peanut gallery? I think that was fairly comprehensive.
I think I'm the peanut gallery because I'm the only other
You
player
are the
there.
peanut gallery.
I'm a quarter of the gallery, just the first quarter.
Nothing much. I think this will be the first prayer of many. I'm going to write a prayer book for Duncan to go alongside of it.
Yeah, I made the mistake of stopping them for a break and giving Evan a chance to write an actual prayer.
No, don't give them time.
It was
Never do that.
They prepared.
Man.
in under 10 minutes. It was ridiculous.
Oh, for sure.
So good. In freaking incredible. Yes, so we never left the temple last session. But it still feels like a lot happened in a few short hours.
Honestly, a shorter episode than usual.
Yeah, a little bit shorter. So could you all please, for me, roll 1d20?
Who's gonna behave today?
Not you.
14.
18.
12.
Okay, hold. Ren got 14. Duncan got 18.
Mhm.
Navis got 12.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna roll for Thane. That's a 7.
We all roll a die. He gets the lowest value.
You know?
Ultimate
That could be fun.
disadvantage.
Okay. So, everybody has, things are, there we go. So everybody has, fallen asleep, by this point. It is quite late into the evening, and it takes a bit for dreams to reach you. We will start with Duncan. Roll for me one more die, a d6 this time, please.
I'm sorry. What the fuck happened to your face, Alexis? That's
It's
even
pretty
more horrifying than usual.
On my d6, I rolled a 4.
A 4 for Duncan. All right. Duncan, it's been a long day
Hey,
for you and for everyone. As rest claims you, and you slip into dreams, the smell hits you first. Iron. It's been with you all day, this smell. There is also an intense heat that follows it. You open your eyes to a field of gore. All around you are bodies piled high, various states of wounds, all of them torn apart. As you look closer, you realize that you recognize these faces. Every single one of your students. Those faces you've been searching for years. You will spend the rest of your sleep trudging through this battlefield, recognizing every face around you.
Fucking Mondays, am I right?
Brun, could you please roll for me 1d6?
That is a 6.
Okay. Brun, you have fallen into a deep slumber as well. All of the damage to your body compiling into one massive ache. While you sleep, after everyone else has fallen into an uneasy rest, all the people around in the temple rather, you don't dream. But from the outside we see a person, a feminine figure, walking silently towards you. Her hair is long and straight and drapes down around her face, obscuring half of it at least. The astute observer would realize that her shadow does not match her figure as she stalks towards you. Her arm extends and unfolds and continues to unfold. Far too many joints for a human. Into your arms, she places a box. Your small metallic dragon, who has been resting atop you, is scooched on top to help guard it. And before anyone can approach her or say anything or do anything, she disappears. Nevos, roll for me 1d6.
5.
After the incident with your journal, falling asleep over that field of morning glories that you had drawn, you wake into your dream space, and they're still there. You are surrounded by these flowers. The air is heavy with the scent of greenery, the oils from plants after a rainstorm. You feel hands reach around your face and cover your eyes. Eyes. Both of them. There's a body pressed up behind you, and you hear a familiar voice that you can't quite place. What are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here yet. And before you can move the hands from your face to look for the source of this voice, you feel those morning glory vines reach up and climb your legs, binding them together, climbing and climbing, until eventually you are covered and smothered with the scent of morning glories. Thane, roll me a 1d6, please. 3?
Mhm.
Okay. The piece of wood you were whittling and the knife you were using to carve it have fallen from your hands as sleep takes you. It is an uneasy sleep. First, everything is dark, and the first impact hits you right to the chest. Heavy blow, hammer-like almost. And then another to the back of your shoulder, and another to your leg. Over and over you are struck. The armor that you have worn to blend with your fellows betrays you. Under the hits, it crumples tighter and tighter, crushing you all the way. In the background, you hear Lord Silverwater laughing. Until
like
you
that.
are nothing. In the morning, You are all awoken by one of the clerics from the temple. A gentle shake to a shoulder or a foot or whatever's nearby. Excuse me. Excuse me. I need. Please wake up.
Oh, and he kind of like wipes the sweat off of his brow. Good morning.
Good. You're awake. Could you please rouse the others as well? Jepka has returned.
So I'll kind of give a soft but gentle, firm kind of bump to Brun to kind of like see if he'll wake up from that. And I don't really know where Navos' spikes end and his body begins, so I'll just kind of like find a softer looking spot and kind of shake that awake. And with Thane kind of sleeping there next to us, I'll pick up his blade and kind of wake him up a little bit. And as he awakes and he kind of has consciousness, I'll flip the blade over and hand him back to him, handle first.
So Jepka has returned, and at this point the sun has not yet risen. You can see a little bit of a glow on the horizon through a large window, designed to show the rising of the sun. Yes, so the bishop has instructed me to wake you and take you to speak with them first. So when you're ready, but please hurry. We don't have a lot of time.
We have time enough for breakfast?
Before breakfast, ideally.
All right.
They've just gotten back.
Second breakfast.
We already made that joke.
Oh
Second
shit!
breakfast.
Before you get here.
Once you've spoken with her, yes.
She wants to talk to us before the sun is up?
I don't really know the specifics. I was just told to fetch you when she returned. So if you'll gather your things and follow me.
All right. Just give us a moment here, for pity's sake.
And the cleric, she'll step away just a little bit, give you a moment to stand up, stretch, get your bearings.
Duncan will produce a nice little comb and comb his mustache. It looks nice because it's probably like all up everywhere. From sleeping
A little
weird.
bit of drool sticking it out in odd
yeah.
angles.
So you gotta clean it up.
And there is, in fact, a box on your chest. A familiar one. Looks like a cigar box.
Like Brun is like about to ask a question of everyone, and then looks and sees. Does it still have the marking on it? The five petaled flower.
Yep.
He looks at it and goes, "Shit." And just like sits up and sets it on the pew and goes, "So are you all going to talk to Jepka?"
Well, we can't speak for everyone, but we will.
Are there any recommendations you might have?
Speak simply. Don't make excuses. You know what happened. You know what you saw.
We know what we saw, but I don't think we know what happened. And I think that's our problem.
Then only tell what you saw.
Are you not coming?
No.
Is that an option?
Unless they clap me in irons. Yeah.
Will they? They seem pretty.
If they really need to talk to me, or to any of us, someone will make up a reason. Acquiescing to this farce just gives Silverwater a little extra. Don't give in till they make you.
And
Would
with that,
being
go ahead. Say what you're saying.
would being led away in chains give Silverwater more ground, or does it help us?
Depends on if we're innocent. If he
Right
comes
around
down and-
now,
yeah.
that
that's-
cleric
yep.
is going to kind of clear her throat. Are you ready to go? Please.
Sure am. I don't know about the rest of you, and I'm gonna start heading out.
And she will turn and start walking toward. You had all seen the bishop and the paladin captain kind of at a quote-unquote war table. Kind of in that direction, there's a similar hallway to the one that you had been led down initially, but you are led further back the hall than the first time, on the opposite side of the building here. You don't hear very many people in these rooms, not like the injured ward, I'll call it. It seems like there are probably different fighters, the guards and paladins and such, that weren't able to get back to the barracks. They're probably resting here for now, in case anything should happen, and they would be needed immediately. You hear some snores and a little bit of shuffling around. But yeah, she's just going to keep walking until she gets to a particular room. Who is following her?
Sure am.
We've got Duncan, we've got Thane,
I'd go.
we've got Navos.
So Thane's gonna lean into Brun before they leave. We agree with you, but they're going. So, and Thane's just gonna take a step back and shrug. Solidarity. Go with the others.
There is a snort as you say solidarity, but you see Brun's attention has shifted to this box that he's got, that he's kind of just looking at as you all leave the room.
Okay, we are leaving Brun behind.
Slay Brun. All right, deafen him.
Okay.
Fuck, I'll deafen again.
So
Bye.
you may have mentioned this already, Alexis, and I'm sorry I missed the beginning. Are we rolling for hit dice for the HP that we recover overnight?
That
Or
is
is it a
an
full
excellent question. And the answer is yes. You can roll your hit dice. You get your long rest. It was not an easy rest, but you did get your full amount of time. Yeah. Yep. So you can roll
What
your
did
hit dice
we-
to heal up.
Okay, that's what we decided for long rests. Is we can either do the hit dice for that? Okay.
And then I believe you also get, so you can roll as many hit dice as you want, and then because of the long rest, you get those hit dice back for the following day.
Oh, that's good.
So if you would
I only
do
have-
a short rest or something, you would get those, you could use those hit dice as well.
Thane is very sore. That's very
Oop.
clear in the way they walk.
Everybody good on hit dice?
We are level 2, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
You
So-
did not get a magical level up yet.
Even while I was
Okay.
sleeping?
No.
So we will have. So sorry, just because my brain is scrambled. I'm at 2d10,
Use your hit dice, and then you'll
and
get
I
those
will
back
have those hit
for
dice
this day.
for
Yes.
short rest. Copy, and I will use
Yeah.
both of those.
Yeah, you might as well.
Incredible. Brun's feeling way better.
Derek,
They're
how
given any
is your health pool looking?
I'm back to full. I just
Okay.
needed one.
How are your inspiration points looking? Do you have any? I forgot to award you something.
No, not currently. Yeah, I'll add that in.
All right, take an inspiration point for that excellent recap you did that Andrew missed.
Thank you.
I rolled a 12, by the way, for the 20 that you're punishing me with.
Oh, I already rolled a 7 for you. I was joking.
Oh, is that a
about
good thing?
20.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
find out.
It was just a thing. Don't worry too much.
It was just an anxiety roll. Thanks.
Worry just enough.
They're just random rolls that mean to nothing, just to scare you.
All right. So you've been led up to this room toward the end of the hall. And the cleric who has led you here will push the door open after a little tap tap. And whoever's closest to the door, it's going to hit you first. There is a heavy scent of sweat, blood, and ash that just hits you like a wave. When you look in past this cleric who's kind of in the doorway at first, there is a halfling Asimar who's kind of sunk into a chair. There's a mug of ale on a small side table next to them. The head is lowered down onto one hand, like facepalm type, trying not to fall asleep, but clearly exhausted. Her head is half shaved, mane of like kind of gentle golden waves that's plastered down by a helmet, clearly, and sweat and more blood. They're also... It's somewhat dark in this room. They themselves are shedding a little bit of light from a pair of halos. The central one gently turning, it seems, with these radiant points coming out of it that shift as they move. And a second wider halo around that. It's a very thin line with two kind of orbs gently circling around. And from that and the light of a couple candles, she's steaming. Like, if you've ever seen a horse, like a draft horse out in the field, like early morning, how they are just a cloud of steam from all the sweat that's evaporating off, that's happening with her. And you can feel some of that heat coming out through this door. There's a small window on the backside of the room that leads outside that is like opened as much as possible. It's doing nothing to help this intense heat. The halfling is not looking up. Just as soon as the door opens, she instinctually raises kind of a dismissive hand and goes, "I'll be ready to go in just a moment. No need to worry over me. I've got everything I need." Hand is still down in the head, grabs the mug, kind of lifts it to be like, "Here, see, I have beverage. I'm good. Don't worry about me." She kind of stifles a yawn, not really paying much attention to the intrusion. The cleric that has brought you here, "You have visitors, sir." And the halfling's eye cracks open to peer toward the door. "Well, bring them in, then." She will rise to greet you, using one hand to push off of the knee and the other to push off the table. And you hear a couple of like pops and crackles as she stands, stiff joints that were getting a little too settled as she was sitting. She'll stretch briefly and she'll kind of wave you in, bid you enter, and the cleric will step out of the way and offer you the doorway.
Okay. Duncan will walk in, kind of looking for the nearest open seat.
Yeah, there's a few chairs around. You can pull one over.
That's what I'll do. Kind of pull one over to sit down. If I'll pull it as close as I can to the halfling, and if she's kind of looking at me, I'll put out my good hand to shake.
Yeah, as you enter the room, Duncan, right at the edge of the light in this room,
Mhm.
you catch a glimpse of that black fiber drifting
Mm.
just a little bit. It's not heavy, it's not dense, but you do catch a little bit of it in this room. And she'll reach a hand out to you. I would assume you are the group of 4 Bishop Malord mentioned to me. I'm afraid I know nothing of you or your purpose, so allow me to introduce myself. Have a seat, please, please. I am Jepka Fuenal, child of Tathe, Lord of Parhelia, and a knight of Seradi, the Blinding Light. You are whom, then, and why must we speak? She'll shake your hand, Duncan. It's a firm grasp.
And
Very
Duncan will
serious.
return.
Sorry,
Duncan
Thane?
Dubois,
Duncan Dubois.
Knight of
Well met.
Valus Vidar. Well met. We are under some sort of misunderstanding, I think. I think it is your job to clear that up, if I believe correctly.
Perhaps I can do so.
You've been defending the city. I'm looking at her wounds and how tired she is.
Yes. Yes, we have, all of us, doing what we can. Hand extends to you. You
How
are
long ago did you get back? We are Thane.
Thane. I walked in about maybe 5 minutes ago.
How does it
I
look?
had a moment to speak with the bishop, just to hear that I need to speak with you. There are only 3 of you. Kind of looking around for a 4th person.
How does it look
Hmm?
out there? How does it look out there?
And this whole time, her face has been fairly neutral, not threatening, not angry. Exhaustion is clear. She's a little bit older. You can see some of the lines on the face. Maybe 30s to 40s, somewhere in that range. You are a paladin as well. Yes? And I can see that you are also quite wounded. How did that happen? Did you join the fray?
Like you, we were defending the people of the city.
It is not great out there, Thane. There are only so many resources this town has to offer. And we are quickly running out. But I and those who fought with me and continue to do so, we are doing what we can. It's not a great answer, I understand, but it is all I have to offer you.
Are there people out there who still need defending?
I'm sure there are, and that is why I would like to settle whatever we need to settle here quickly, so that I may catch my breath for just a moment and go return to my companions. I don't believe I've gotten your name yet. And she turns to you, Navos. There's a brief curiosity to her look, but she extends a hand anyway. You are?
Navos is currently still standing by the door, has not taken a seat. You can see the anxiousness on his face. And will walk up slowly and reach a hand out to shake hers.
And again, that stern handshake. She's still wearing all of her armor. So there's a little bit of metal kind of poking into the corners of your hand, but it is an unreserved handshake. This is freely offered. She does wish to welcome you to this space. Nevos.
Nevos, yes. I came here as an entertainer, in a way. From what I've seen, I've never seen this before.
And yet you've gotten mixed up in things. How did that happen?
I guess I caught up in multiple jobs. It's been the first time in the festivals I've been to. I did not come here to guard Pyvel, but I take it as they come.
You say the name Pyvel. Give me an insight check, since you are staring her dead in the face.
Mm-hmm. That's a 16.
There is recognition to the name Pyvel, familiarity, and you catch a bit of loss. Hearing you say Pyvel has poked a wound for her.
I'm sorry. I apologize for you and the fellow paladins.
Perhaps we should sit and
Yeah, I think it's a
chat.
good segue into what brings us into this room this morning.
Before we continue, your fourth, where are they?
Oh, still back at the temple, I believe. Not so much for the Inquisition type.
He saw this as a sham, the same as I do, but
We're just
wanna
trying to
get this
play along because, just like you, we want to try to get back out there, try to save as many more souls as we can. So,
She turns to you, Thane. A sham.
yes,
Why do you think this is a sham?
because we are in here talking instead of out there acting. This
And
is
she
silly.
gets-
We are here. Thane's just pacing at this point. They're
Her
making him sit
face gets harder as you say this. You can hardly walk right now. What use are you on the battlefield in this moment, Thane?
down. Right? We are having a hard time walking, but we will continue walking until we can't.
Would you prefer to be one of the corpses we have to bury?
If I can help some. Yeah. Colin says yes. So
Hell
I
yeah!
heard nice.
yes, yes, I do.
Colin's on board.
if that's what it takes, then yes. If we can give our lives to save others, then that is what we will do.
You would burden the rest out here who are working to save those who need it, compared to yourself who are currently safe.
If we're burdening others by being dead on the ground outside, we're not tracking.
The burden comes before you're dead on the ground. The paladins that are out there currently, they do not take battle lightly. She's saying this to all of you. None of our forces are sacrificed. We are doing what we can to bring everyone back. And by having somebody on the field who is trying to throw their life away for some perceived glory,
It
it is
nothing to do with
not.
glory, ma'am.
Turns to Thane. Sacrificing yourself to save others? Why?
That's the oath. That's the oath we took. Surely you can understand that.
Needless sacrifice is what I do not understand. Helping others, absolutely. But throwing yourself away instead of staying safe once you have made it to safety, after you have done all that you can? How does that benefit anyone?
Do we appear to be that weak to you?
And she looks at you. She settles back into her chair a little bit. And they look at you, like, appraising you while you're pacing. Are you familiar with the Parhelia?
No. Is that something that matters?
And she will crack a grin. Allow me to introduce you. And she does this kind of trilled whistle, which I will not do for you to save your ears. And the two orbs that were kind of orbiting that outer ring of her halo kind of they speed up a little bit until shooting off in different directions to dance around the room a little. And they start kind of jumping around. They've become kind of anchored, and there's something taking form around these orbs. And they become these two ginormous dogs radiating sunlight. These are Parhelia, or sundogs. These two are in training. And because of that, I've kept them out of the fight. Because they are of no use to anyone, let alone themselves. And these two dogs, like, as massive as they are, they've got, like, the giant puppy feet and, like, big doofy ears. Like, they're big, but they are not full grown. You can tell that much. And, like, they're kind of jumping around, like, we're finally out, Mom, let us free, let's go. And they're, like, dancing around. It's not time to work just yet. And they are, like, snuffling around you. Do you think that releasing them into this battle would be worth it? I would be distracted trying to keep them safe as well, because currently they cannot do so themselves. Would you call them weak? And one of them, like, jumps up and, like, big paws on your shoulders, kind of knocks you back a little bit. You know what? Give me a contested strength.
Okay. Can I don't know if this thing can roll for intimidation also, but can it? Because I feel like there's a good chance Thane might actually be fucking terrified of these things.
Absolutely. So I will give it... Yeah, okay. So that is a 12 for intimidation, and an 18 for strength.
Okay, that's a 7 for strength for me.
Yeah, you are sat down, basically, as this thing, like, stands up, paws on your shoulders, is, like, going to snuffle your face, but doesn't quite realize its own strength, and you drop under the weight of this thing. Like, Tibetan Mastiff, I think is the one I'm thinking of, the big fluffy things.
Boy.
Yeah. But glowy and solar. And, like, as soon as they came out as well, the heat in the room intensified. Right? If I had to watch them the entire time I was trying to fight, I would be putting myself, my paladins, and the people we're trying to save at risk. Do they seem weak to you?
Are you? And, like, Thane's voice, like, cracks.
He's hitting puberty.
Are you comparing us to your dogs? Your untrained dogs?
I am comparing you to others that I care about.
I'm sure the good lady means no offense, but if we could get this along, the theatrics are nice and all, but people are being heard outside.
There's a
and-
dog snuffling your stump, by the way, from under the
Stuff.
table.
Oh, he's snuffling. Okay.
Your hand is glowing. Your
yeah, I'll
your
kinda
sigils
like-
are glowing, by the way.
Kind of like nudge
Just a
him
little
off a little bit. If we could get down to this, I would appreciate that. Truth be
I thought
told,
we were.
are we?
We're having a
It's just-
conversation, aren't we?
It seems like we're having a conversation that doesn't seem to be onto the relevant topics here.
Do you understand what Inquisition is?
I would think that it would be more directionalized than
Is that what
Looking
you
in-
would prefer?
if it could get us to breakfast earlier. I think so.
I'm sorry, I do have a question. I don't mean to interrupt,
Yes.
but we did prefer an audience. If this is the direct questioning, or is there a follow-up
An
afterwards?
audience? And like the request for an audience has taken her by surprise a little bit. An audience is a new one.
We were
In
under
that
the
case-
assumption that Lord Silverwater had requested this meeting to begin
Who?
with. Lord Silverwater, ranking councilman, who
Give me one
may or may
second.
not.
The elder or the brat?
The brat, I believe.
And she gets this look of horror. Not horror, but like, ugh.
Disappointment.
Just that face of like, I cannot believe you have caused me more trouble again. Like one of those looks.
hmm
She's
Which is-
familiar with Silverwater, apparently.
would lead to
and-
why this was, in the eyes of my other companion who is not here, a quote unquote farce. We're just trying to get to the bottom of this so that everybody can be helped.
And she'll whistle for the sundogs, and it takes a second for one of them, and they both end up kind of circling around and sitting on either side of her. Like I said, it takes a second for one of them, but they plop their butts down, and even sitting, these things are like twice her height while she's in a chair. So she looks to you, and I will agree to your audience. I'm starting to understand better why Malor asked for this meeting. I am a knight of Seirani. I have been called for Inquisition. I do not take joy in it. I do not enjoy the work. But there are people who value my opinion. Part of my opinion is figuring out who I am speaking with. I will wait for your audience. At sunup, which should be... And she thinks about it for a little bit, kind of tilts her head a little. We have about 20 minutes.
I was just about to say the same. 20 minutes to sun up.
That should give you some time for your breakfast.
I could feel it in my bones.
I suppose I will be a bit delayed getting back out. But
Should we do it in the Grand Temple?
We will, yes. I believe there's kind of a dais in there.
Hmm.
We'll sit up front, and you will have your audience. Before we
Perfect.
go, is there Anything you would like to ask me or accuse me of?
No accusations, no questions. Just that you be fair. And,
You say be fair, and she looks at you like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Like, you would know, Duncan would know that Knights of Seirani are like, their whole thing is justice, fairness, truth, right? They don't mince words. They don't hold information back that's relevant. They don't lie to people, right? Like, that is their thing, and especially a fairly high-ranking knight, which you can pretty well assume of this lady. Even insinuating that she would lie or be unfair to you over Inquisition of all things, that's a slight, and she will probably remember that.
Thane's gonna stand, and they very clearly like understand the power dynamic here, and Jebka's kind of like won them over in a way, like with this show of power and whatever. And like they do love authority, just the right kind of authority. And Thane's just gonna add, kind of meekly now, what my friend means to say is that our accuser is not here. And when we talk about fairness, it would have made more sense had the person who put us in this situation be present to see it through and to make this accusation himself. Instead, he is wasting your time, he is wasting our time, he's wasting the city's resources at a time it needs it most. And we know that you will find the fair path through this, so we thank you for everything.
And they'll kind of look at you, again, that appraising look, trying to see past the armor into those eyes of yours. Do you have your one eye covered right now?
I do. Yeah, that was wrapped last game.
Just checking. And they'll give you a nod. Just a very simple, you have my word. I would love to see Silverwater actually stand up for himself for once. That would make my life so much easier. And yet, every single time, he manages to weasel his way out of it. One day, he will get his comeuppance. But for now, I am left dealing with his mess. And unfortunately for you, you are that mess, it seems. We will have Inquisition as the sun rises. In the main temple. I suggest you get your breakfast and relax a little. I don't think there's any reason for you to be tense or nervous. We will simply converse.
It's only an Inquisition.
Oh, Duncan's not nervous at all. He has nothing to hide. You know? And as much as he doesn't want to admit it, he also kind of feels like this is slightly a farce. He feels like his track record should speak for him, but...
Yeah, you were pretty up in arms about having to do community service. Like yesterday.
Listen, I've been a member of this community for how long, and my word means nothing?
She doesn't know you.
No, I know she doesn't know me, but the fact that we got to this point, that nobody has spoken up for Duncan Dubois, converts him a little bit.
Hey now, Marlowe spoke up for you. Don't you ever besmirch that man's name.
I'm not besmirching his name. He's a good buddy of mine. But he did give me community service. So I'll besmirch it a little bit.
Tenses are important.
All right. Yes,
is true.
be tense. So we're going to pause you three there to go back to Brun for a bit. What you doing, buddy?
Oh, we'll deafen ourselves.
Brun, once they're gone, Brun kind of looks around, sees if anybody is paying him any particular attention.
Most people are still mostly asleep. There's a couple of early risers who are kind of shuffling around, but really not much happening at the moment.
Gonna turn and put my back to the door turn my back to the door, and look at this cigar box.
Mm-hmm.
For any kind of, it has the gardener symbol on it. Does it have any of does it have a personal brand on it? Does it have anything to indicate who it might be from? Or does this look exactly like the box that Vox and I had the other day?
It looks darn familiar. There's a maker's mark on the bottom. As you're turning it over, it is a little series of plates, kind of. Not dishware, but metal plates arranged into a vining circle.
Okay. With that, I'm gonna just do a quick look around and then pop the lid on it and see what's in the box.
What's in the box? It's cigars. It is a cigar box with cigars in it. And tucked into the cigars, there's a small scrap of paper.
Pull it out.
And looking at it, it's just a plant list.
What are the plants on the list?
So, looking at the list,
I'm assuming it's a cipher of some kind.
You understand what it's telling you.
Okay, incredible. I realized I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I'm like, fuck, I have to name all the plants.
No. I'm not going to name all the plants, but I will send you what it means.
What the list is. Okay.
It is not currently immediately relevant to you.
Got you.
You gonna do anything else with that box?
I'm gonna I am going to check for a false bottom. Because this is the only is there a signature or any kind of marker on to know who this scrap of paper is from?
There's a little square. Yep.
Lovingly
a box
by.
of sorts.
Incredible.
So this box, this is the same box from a couple days prior, or yesterday, 2 days, a couple days prior.
These are the cigars for the boss.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What's the cigars?
Okay.
Cigars specifically made for the boss.
So you do also find a fun little extra in the hidden compartment.
Yeah. What's in the
it's a sending stone.
Those
are useful.
Brun looks at this sending stone.
Oh, it's just one.
Brun looks at this sending stone like it is like it's one of the giant spiders from earlier. Like he looks at this thing.
That thing's gonna bite you.
This is a hand grenade. He's just
and it's been delicately placed into your sleeping hands. Teehee. You know what you gotta do.
There's a quick just look up to any deity statue in the room. Just Vox, I'm going to kill you.
Somewhere in the distance.
Sort of like closes up the cigar box, sets it with some of the belongings, puts Comcom on top of it, still like sort of curled up in this dragon position, and just don't let anybody open this. Okay.
And it looks at you, tilts the head a little bit, just kind of like stretches out and curls back up on the box.
And Brun's gonna go find a confessional to make a call.
Appropriate. Go to the phone box.
He's just a quiet, out of the way place. So question: are sending stones an entirely mental link, or is Brun speaking into the sending stone?
I would say that you've used them before. Yeah, it's sending, but directly to the holder of the other, the paired stone.
Okay. In that case, Brun is going to go find the group, find people that are praying in the temple, probably near where the food is. And he will like collapse the sending stone between his hands and bow his head into his hands, slipping back into a pose of prayer, but in a fucking flop sweat.
Yeah, you can feel the sweat pouring. You're not even near Jepka's room. But man, it's getting hot in here.
Oh man, the sun's not even up and I hate it here.
God, that's me on a daily.
And Brun just like puts the flats of his thumbs up to his bowed head and Sir, I've received your sending stone. I'm sorry I lost Mahir. I await your instruction, sir.
And you wait. Hands clasped on this stone, hoping that the magic that binds it to its partner holds true. Where are you? Who knows? And after what feels like an eternity... Brun. I'm so glad to hear from you. Finally. When you say you lost my pride and joy, what does that mean? And it ends there.
He was taken, sir. An ASMR Pieball exploded. Mahir was taken from my grasp by magical means.
And that wait draws longer and longer. You've seen the boss let people stew just to see them squirm. An explosion knocked you out. Magical means as well. Tell me, Brun, who has my boy?
I don't know.
I am disappointed, Brun. You have done well for me for many years. My darling boy looked up to you. I will see you again. I do not anticipate it being a pleasant meeting. Before then, I should hope you would learn who has Mahir. And perhaps you will walk away.
I am at your disposal, sir.
There
I
is
will
no
find-
response after this message. You feel the connection break.
Brunt like settles back in the pew, and the whole thing kind of creaks as just dead weight, breathing hard, and the look up around the room at the other gods and the statues of those gods, but not with derision or humor, but fear and a little... Yeah, there is fear, and he's looking to these statues for hope for a second.
As you look upon the visages of these various gods and goddesses, the mood of the room, the mood of this temple when you'd first come in was fear. Palpable, right? The low, murmured whispers of dead and dying and those who fear what is happening to their loved ones. And in the faces of these statues and icons, they are cold. They are uncaring. Another time they may have given hope, but today, that is not for you. You will find no solace here, and you know that deep down.
Brun sort of pulls himself up, tucking the sending stone into not quite a secret pocket, but a pocket that a cut purse or a pickpocket would have a harder time getting to. So like somewhere up near the shoulder, on his person. So if there is a call coming in, he'll feel it.
Mm-hmm.
And without looking back up at the ceiling, Brun is going to go over to where folks are serving breakfast, and ask for plates of food for everybody. Specifically asking for eggs, oatmeal, things that are easy, things that are easier to throw up. as he's sort of asking around for these meals and stuff like that.
And as the morning kind of gets underway and people are rising, a lot of the folks that are here are familiar with being up just before the sun. This is a pretty common thing, and supplies have been pulled in at some point where they've got food kind of set up, beverages to wash it all down, and a mishmash of plates and cutlery and whatnot to serve it on, to try and give people some semblance of a home or comfort in this moment. And you are able to procure these items, these plates of food.
It's certainly a lighter breakfast. And Brun will sit. Brun will take a seat at a probably what was once a door that's been put on sawhorses just to have as a table space, and be waiting for the companion for the rest of our motley crew.
And it takes just a bit. You wait for about 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And eventually they all come filtering back out, unguided by a cleric. You see Brun with a spread of plates, apparently waiting for you.
Nope.
You're muted,
Andrew is muted.
The silent boy.
Must be on your mic itself.
Yeah, I think it's the mic itself. Teehee.
Should I turn it off and on again? There's a little red light on your microphone.
Nope.
Something looks blinking.
think it's Andrew. Andrew's blinking.
The editor's got him.
Negative.
Nothing.
Still nothing.
Negative. Nothing.
Man, that Andrew's such a cool guy. We can say whatever we want about him right now.
I know. Just type what you want to say, and I'll say it for you.
Not a clue, Andrew.
No, I'm thankful that he can't talk. If we could just sit here for another
God,
hours.
let's all. Can we just sit here and enjoy the silence for a hot second? That would be fucking incredible.
Filter it
Nope,
through.
still nothing.
Mumble, mumble, mumble.
It's unbelievable.
I mean,
Can't make this up.
under settings. You
Why'd you kick him,
Knock it
Alexis?
out.
That's awfully fucking rude.
Who do you think I am? You think
The
I
kind of
would resort
person
to
who.
kicking him out? Oh,
I'm guessing that he's trying to. No, I heard something.
there's
hit the green.
Hello?
hello.
There. here's
Ah,
something.
there he is.
That's bullying. You guys are bullying me.
That was weird.
Listen, no,
We're
bullying
going
We all
would,
got the memo.
bullying would have been if you came back and we were all like, dude, we still can't hear you.
Yeah.
Even when it was working. That's bullying.
We'll save that for
funny.
later.
On the way back, Thane's just saying, we need to seed the crowd with our supporters. Spread them out, have them make noise on our behalf, have them encourage us, see if we can get that to spread.
Well, we can go around making sure everybody has something to eat. You know,
Yeah, we have 20 minutes.
the quickest way to gain favor is with full stomachs.
We can definitely try.
Rule
I
of
think
mine.
we can get the kids.
What number
Kids
rule,
can move.
Duncan? What number rule is that?
Yes, it would say Rule 85. It's in my notebook. Quickest way to
we
gain
can get-
favor is on full stomachs.
We can get. Is that really one of your rules?
Yes,
Rule
it is.
That's awesome. But we can get Duca and
Man is
Kanala and people.
Somebody's got to make sure that Jebka had something to eat too. It looked like she hadn't eaten for a while.
She was just kind of absentmindedly petting one of the dogs as you left.
Mhm.
Apparently preparing herself mentally for what is to come.
We were gonna offer to heal her or something before we left, and we thought we forgot. She is very cool. We like her a lot. We like her a lot more than that other
She lives up
paladin.
to her name though. So
Yeah, she actually reminds us of you a little bit. The first time we met you, just someone who stands by their principles and someone we admire. Maybe someone who is occasionally misguided in their understanding of the world, but we.
why don't you keep that one to yourself there?
A lot of
Just-
potential there.
We're gonna just drag Duncan in the middle of, before my
there's Bron.
interrogation.
Listen, I've seen a thing or two in my life. Just wait until you're my age. Breakfast though. I see you got us plates. I thank you very much, Brun.
There is nothing. There are no carbs. It's a lot of like fruit, and the only thing to drink is water.
Curtis without the carbs? What the heck? You're the bread
Brun-
man.
Brun's handing these out. And
Man.
Brent's handing these out, and he's like, "Don't overdo it. This will be much easier to throw up if things go poorly." Like,
We think
passes
Jepka
out
has
the
our back.
Let's hope.
Doesn't matter
Nabos,
if she does.
you've been quiet. Are you okay? Are you worried about being in front of a crowd again and killing everybody?
Oh, okay, Thane. Let's be a little more reasonable. How are you, Navos? How are you feeling?
Not well. I mean, she said there is no tension. That is what I am filled with. I didn't even really.
I think
ask for
we're all
the
a little on
audience
edge.
for us. I asked it because I needed some time. I mean, thank you for the food, but I think I'm in the same boat as you.
So, as far as strategy is concerned, we think that, if Brun's not going to be a part of this, we think that the two of you should lay out all the arguments, explain what had happened. Navos, you were up on that stage. You had the best view of the crowd. Duncan, you know this town better than anyone. We have an idea of how we think we'd want to close things out, but we want to end on a high note, so we would rather wait until the
I
end.
have some things I can say. Though, if you do either want me to start or go second, doesn't matter to me.
Brun, If you're not going to be up there on stage, if they don't force you to be up there on stage, can you be one of our crowd people? One of our crowd men hyping us up?
Yeah, work the crowd.
This is not a trial.
I know.
You are being inquisited.
We are
Put to the
going-
question.
We are going to be given the opportunity to defend ourselves in view of the public.
If you're going to do that, the quickest way to be pinned under a sundog is to bring theatrics, gesturing at the whole thing. Straightforward question and answer. The people being on our side doesn't matter. She
There's
is the only person who gets to say if we are good to go.
he cares about these people, and they are all that matters.
Silverwater doesn't.
He is not here.
He is the reason we're here. Her authority supersedes his.
But she seems to have such a disdain for Lord Silverwater as much as we do. Not that it's going
So-
to help us in the favor, but it's still something that might help us.
That will not enter the court. That will not enter the Inquisition with her.
For the record, you guys have told Brun nothing of what happened in that room or last night, so keep that in mind too.
I've seen this shit before. It will not
think
be
you-
pleasant.
I think if we stick to the truth, keep our cards played a little close to our chests, I think we'll be just fine.
And what does it look like for someone to be, as you put it, put to the question and answer incorrectly?
I started with gestures to the food.
It's just like
It depends on who's asking. Jebka, if she's on our side, like you say, it'll just be a little brighter. And you might tan a little. I have seen folks blinded when put to the question, and they gave a question that was categorically false. They gave an answer. I've seen their shadows burned onto the floor.
The same way we had seen the bodies or the shadows burned after Pivel?
Not quite.
Okay. So you're not saying that potentially one of these knights was responsible?
That's an
Or
incredible.
what just
Actually, that's an
happened?
incredible question for our GM. With Thane asking
Who,
that
me?
question, Brud's gonna compare. Like,
So
I will happily roll history.
the
or religion to pull it.
intensity of this, the intensity of Pivel's aftermath was really high up there, we'll say. Very, very intense. Inquisition you've seen in the past where those being questioned were deemed untruthful. More of a soot stain on the ground. Hardly anything left of them to mourn. Burnt away cleanly for the most part, with hardly a speck of ash left on the paladin's feet.
You can see Navos's hand shaking a bit with a spoon. Look over to Brun. What if I don't know?
Tell them. If you do not know, tell them you do not know. They value truth. Not knowing an answer and saying you do not know that answer is infinitely better than making something up.
Just
If you
slow
say
down
something
the
that-
bag. Sorry.
If you say something that implicates you, they will ask a follow-up question. Do not make excuses. Give your answer. They live and die by the facts and the truth.
By this
Yeah.
point, several people in the room have started to get up, get moving. They've grabbed some food, returned to their comfortable little groups, as comfortable as this situation can be, of course. And that low murmur is starting to return. The glow on the horizon. You've got maybe about 5 minutes. And all of you have gotten the impression from Jepka, Brun, from your past experience, solar nights don't miss the sunrise. Typically. You have a very strong conviction that Jepka will be punctual.
Will Jepka be talking to all of you together or one at a time?
From my understanding, it's all of us at the same time.
Not
Need
that
to
you really
go.
asked.
Not that we
No,
really
she didn't
asked, but
specify. But in any case, we need to go, but you need to get us that crowd. Whether it does nothing or not, that doesn't matter. We are doing that. We are pleading our case before her, but also before the people. So we need to do what we can to put the people on our side, regardless of the outcome. But we should go.
agreed. We don't want to be late.
As you make your way to the dais, a couple of chairs are brought up. There are 3 put together in a line behind one, and a separate chair set facing them. The murmur of the crowd changes a little as people start noticing what's happening. You get the impression they've not been informed of the upcoming event. They are going in just as blind as Jepka. You have about 30 seconds, real time.
Where I want to look around. Duncan, what's the name of your lieutenant, your second in command kid?
Oh, Kevin? Or after
yes.
Kevin? Oh, Kevin, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
I want to whistle. I want to look around for Kevin and whistle to get his attention.
Mhm.
Give me a perception, an investigation, whatever you'd like. Because y'all haven't been rolling much.
Just
I'm
start
gonna
rolling
do.
things.
Yeah, I'm gonna do perception. Oh, that
Perceptions.
completely fell out of the tray. We're gonna re-roll.
I'm gonna roll for stealth. No.
18 plus 1 for 19.
All right. Acceptable. Yeah. So Kevin and the rest of the children, you had seen as you're kind of pulling your pews together to build a makeshift bed. the kids were all kind of huddled together with the caretakers, given blankets to pile into and that kind of thing. And most of them are still asleep. But Kevin looks like he's not slept this evening. There are a couple of the kids who have this kind of distant look to their faces. But by now the tears have dried because they've run out of water to produce more. And Kevin is looking through the window outside with an expression of a kid who has seen too much and is waiting for more to happen outside. Because he's been told that he's safe, but after what he experienced, as much bravado as he put on yesterday, he's a kid. He doesn't believe that he's safe. He can feel the terror that still pushes through this crowd of people. Because kids, they notice things. As much as adults don't want to believe it, they know more than they're given credit for.
Kevin.
You kind of lumber on up to him. And he turns to you. Doesn't say anything, just turns and looks.
There's breakfast in the main room, and thought you might be interested if you wanted to meet a solar paladin. One's going to be talking to Duncan here in a little bit.
It takes a bit for your words to sink in. Like there's a filter system that's trying to parse through what you're saying. And he kind of... Okay. And he'll start standing up and, like, a little bit of a zombie walk. Like he's been told to go get breakfast and he's on autopilot for that. So he's going to head in search of food.
Oh, fuck. That didn't work like I wanted to, and now I feel like a bad parent.
Oops. Your 30 seconds is quickly running out.
Looking around, I'm trying to remember fucking names right now. Do I see Kanala or Duka around?
You would know that they had been rushed back the hallway to where people were being treated for massive injuries because of Brell, their kid.
Great, then I'm not going to fuck with that. I'm just going to go back to the main hall. And
heading out into the main hall, I will continue your perception check.
Yep.
So, give me a quick list of who you're looking for in this crowd.
Honestly, the fact that I could, like, Kevin is currently traumatized, and
guessed, honestly.
Duka, trying to find Duka and Kanala, and then remembering that their kid was rushed into emergency surgery. That's Brun's entire list of people he could tag in. And right now,
okay.
Right now, like those are the two, and Brun also doesn't really believe in the plan that Thane has given. So he's Brun has done enough work to attempt it.
Yeah, technically you tried, but did you really try?
Yes. Yes, I found one, and the kid's traumatized.
I will say, as you are heading back to the food area, the serving zone, you do see Kanala. Kanala is grabbing a couple plates at the moment. Also looks like she probably hasn't slept very well. A little bit of the hair on one side of the head has been like pushed up by probably sinking into a hand for hours, trying to fight sleep. But you do see her looking a little rougher today. A little haggard. If you would want to approach her.
Yeah, with 30 seconds, there's not enough time to really make that plan.
Okay.
Brud is just gonna move back to the towards the dais, but outside of it.
Okay.
It's like definitely present for the questioning, but not sitting in the ring.
Are the rest of you doing anything in your 30 seconds? Longest
yeah,
30
not really.
seconds ever.
Longest 30 seconds of my life.
All right. Well, at the end of that 30 seconds, Jepka walks from the hallway, standing fairly tall, considering her short stature. Her posture is not stiff, but it is practiced. As much as she is known for honesty and being direct, she does understand that there is some pageantry that is necessary here. And she is showing that she is, in fact, Jepka Fuinal, child of Tathe. She walks to the dais, where the chair is, and stands in front of it, waiting for all of you to stand at your seats as well. Who's taking the front seat?
Quiet, he's got nothing to hide.
All right. She stands face to face with you, Duncan,
Mm-hmm.
just a few seconds before the sun peaks above the horizon. You can see her eyes looking from face to face between the three of you. And there's a slight bit of disappointment at the empty chair. The sun breaches over the horizon and starts to shine through the window. And she doesn't raise her voice, but her voice does carry the power and weight behind it. I am Jepka Fuenal, child of Tathe, lord of Parhelia, and knight of Seirani the Blinding Light. Who are you?
Duncan Copernicus Dubois, Knight Paladin of Velos Vidar.
She reaches a hand out to shake yours.
I shake it with my good hand.
With this, we open Inquisition. Please sit.
I'll take my seat.
And she will take her seat. She will whistle again, similar to the first time. This one has a little extra something to it. And those motes of light dance the room.
Mhm.
And as the sun dogs apparate, they are bigger, meaner, fully armored. They are ready for work.
Mhm.
They will pace the dais once, circling all of you, before taking their place next to her on either side. The light that they cast is very similar to the light coming in from the actual sun. Her halo seems to glow even brighter than ever. And it is a striking picture, this woman before you. She's made no attempt to clean up after the battle she's been through. Her wounds, her weariness on full display. But she is looking at you with seriousness. Duncan Copernicus Dubois, Knight Paladin of Velos Vidar.
Yes, ma'am.
Where have you come from?
Today, or I live here in the
She
city of
squints
Elros.
at you. And she'll repeat it with extra emphasis. Where have you come from?
I live here in the city of Walrath. Carpenter by trade.
Why are you here in the city of Alrath? Carpenter by trade.
Exactly that reason. Kind of making a new start for myself here in the city of Walrath.
A new
Kind of
start
living out
from
the rest
where?
of my life. I was a paladin UC for most of my life, a paladin trainer for Velos Vidar, and kind of got too old for it. Decided to settle down. Moved to the city of Alrath to kind of live out the rest of my years.
When you say, this is not her speaking, when you say about you got too old, how honest is that?
It's mostly the truth. Just a kind of little hint of something more, but he was pretty adamant that it was about how old he was. He did really kind of age out of it.
Mm-hmm. Roll me persuasion.
Absolutely. That is a 3.
That's a 19 on the die.
Okay. She does not believe me.
Her eyes squint just a little. Of what have you been accused?
We have been accused and kind of like pointing
She
at
cuts
our...
you off. Of what have you been accused, Duncan Dubois?
I have been accused of having some part in this calamity here in Alrath. The calamity that started with the death of Percival. Or Pyval, excuse me. Pyval.
Tell me of Pyval Seal, child of Yogton, the keeper of meadows, avatar of the wilds.
I don't know much about him. I only met him yesterday. And I was only in his company for a few hours. We were kind of escorting him around the festival. And it kind of ended with his speech on the stage and the explosion afterwards.
Where did you get your injuries?
After said explosion, the town was kind of in a state of panic. We were trying to help as many of the people that we could find. I ran across some of the people that I know here, the commoners, the common folk, and we had altercations with some spiders. And then we met up with a were-rat and several swarms of rats of his. Later on, meeting the petting zoo of the animals that kind of gotten escaped, and we kind of put them back into their cages without doing harm to them as much as we can. And that kind of led us to here at the temple.
You fought. Why?
Yes, ma'am. To protect innocents, save as many lives as we possibly could. Because after
And
all,
yet you showed mercy. Why?
Absolutely, it is a founding tenet of my belief. It is what Velos wants. Mercy amongst all things, above all things.
Duncan, can you remind me the emblem that you wear? Is it fists or feathers?
It is a fist.
She's gonna look at that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I have it displayed on my chest as prominently and proudly as I possibly can. I'm proud of being a paladin of Velos.
Mercy above all else.
Yes, ma'am.
And yet you are a fist of Velos Vidar. Known
believe, ma'am,
commonly for fighting all battles
That is true.
mercilessly.
I think that is a gross misrepresentation of all the fists. We all have different beliefs, and I believe it's the fist who should wield mercy the most.
Who would speak for you? Who amongst this audience you have demanded of me? Who would speak for you?
Truthfully, anyone. Anyone that I have come across and met in the town of Elrith, they will speak to my character. I have nothing to hide. I live my life, my code of ethics, and I stick to those ethics. Miss Simmons, down there. I've lived by her, I don't know, countless years now. Kevin and the rest of the gang, they down there, they are, kind of tutelages of mine in a strange sort of way.
What do you teach these children?
The same things that I would teach to my own children if I had any. That we live in a chaotic world, but that does not mean that we have to be chaotic alongside it. That we can be the beacon of kindness that we want to see in the world. And that is what I teach them. I teach them to be strong, independent thinkers, to use what has been given to them in the aid of others.
And she turns to the crowd, to the people you've pointed at. Are there any here who would join these three before my judgment? And the crowd is silent right now. Roll for me a D100.
Absolutely.
The higher the number, the more people will be willing to step up for you.
That is a 63. Not good, but not bad.
63 people. Woo!
No.
That's enough for a party. 63% of the crowd? Awesome.
That is
right.
2 or 3 high school classes in one room going, yeah, that guy.
No, not high schoolers. Kevin is working his way through a bowl of oatmeal. Barely registered what's happening up on the dais. Dais? Either one. And as Jepka kind of focuses her attention to the room, there's this slight panic as people meet her gaze because she is intense. And her gaze turns to Kevin. And through the fog of his trauma and all that he has experienced in the past day, he stands up and will start walking toward the dais, stepping up next to you, just as her
And I'll
dogs
put
stand
my hand
next
on
to
his
her.
shoulder. Just like I don't know if she had her hands on the dogs at all, but if she did, Duncan will be mimicking that same gesture of kind of like putting my hand on his shoulder.
Good boy.
Are you comparing me to your untrained dogs?
These are the trained ones, though. These are the battle buddies.
These are the
Sick of
battle
Kevin.
buddies, indeed. Dog fight, go, Kevin!
My money. Yeah, this is the weirdest Pokemon game I've ever
My
seen.
money is on Kevin. He will do what
So-
is need to be done.
She looks down at Kevin because Kevin's a child, and even though she's sitting,
Kevin is
she's
a
a
child.
little taller than him. It's not looking down her nose necessarily. She is appraising this child.
Mhm.
Kevin, and he kind of like looks up. He's been looking at his feet, kind of like had his moment of making eye contact, shuffled his way up, and is staring at his feet like he's been called to the headmaster's room to get yelled at, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm Kevin. Would you speak for Duncan Copernicus Dubois? And he looks up at you. Yes. She kind of smiles. Just a little. Nobody else is going to notice except for the people right in front of her.
Mm-hmm.
Is he honest, Kevin? And Kevin thinks to himself, like he's genuinely thinking these things through. He understands this is serious.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of steels himself. Even louder. Yes! Thank you, Kevin. And she will gesture for him to return back down to his meal.
He's leaving.
And he'll look up at you.
Yeah. I was kind of giving him like a squeeze on his shoulder as he's kind of walking away.
You may sit back, Duncan Dubois. Who
Thank you, ma'am.
will move forward next? Yes, Brun?
When Coven...
Yes, you way in the back.
Oh, fuck.
No, sorry, no further questions.
Is, like, now that I see that this is atypical. This is not what Brum was expecting. Is Kanala still in the room?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to lean down to Kevin, and say, You did very, very well. Can you go sit by Miss Kanala for me? And make sure she's here when Thane is asked. And she will speak for him. I need to find...
He looks up at you, and he's still trying to fight through the fog right now. Can you make for me a... what is the thing? One of those rolls. Yep. Persuasion. There we go. Nailing it.
Oh, man. Can I intimidate instead?
You're going to intimidate this child? This traumatized child? Absolutely.
Yes. I
Absolutely, you can.
the goal of this in this is he's going to listen to the nearest authority figure. And right now I just need him to listen to me long enough for Thane to shoot his mouth off. I need him to put his butt in the chair and not let Kanala leave. That's all I need him to do.
If it's too high, this child will poop his pants.
Not my problem.
God, that means I gotta
18
take
for a
Kevin's
22. I hope he brought a
this
diaper.
poor child.
hand. Squeezes over his shoulder real hard.
It starts out kind, but like I'm picturing like the focus
Little
starts
too intense.
the focus starts to waver, and Brun like there's this Brun's like and like gets down on his level and gives him the face that he gives to people when he says, "It's a lot of nice furniture you got here. It's a shame if something happens to it."
Oh, no.
And like, Kevin, if you want Duncan to come out of this okay, I need you to have Kanala speak for Thane.
And his face drops. There is such a fear. Up until this point, he has known you to be helpful and kind, and there, you're Duncan's friend. You're Mr. Duncan's friend. And he kind of like, his jaw opens a little and nothing's coming out, but he starts nodding like, okay, okay. And he scampers off to Kanala.
That like it pulls himself out from under the grip, and the hand is just like, knowing that I just
You're
shot
a bad,
that friendship.
bad man.
I just shot that friendship in the back of the head.
Tell me
And
about
I'm-
the bunnies.
Tell me about the rabbits, Kevin. And then Brun is going to look around for the druids for Navos.
So, who is stepping forward
I'll go next.
next?
No!
Yeah.
Navos steps forward.
Listen.
100 correct call, correct choice.
I get it.
and I
but
love it.
I'm going after our talk
The same-
beforehand. I already said I
Yeah,
was
we
going to
were-
Uh-huh.
Yeah, do it,
They
do it.
already...
There's a plan. Brun doesn't know the plan.
You stand before Jepka. Same as before, she announces her name. Who are you?
Nevos Karen.
Hand goes out to shake yours.
I will reach my hand out to shake.
There's a bit of tenseness to her hand. You notice. You're very familiar with reading hands. So it stands out to you that although she told you not to worry and not to be tense, there is tension to her handshake, different from earlier, which was more casual, more comfortable. She gestures for you to sit as she herself sits as well.
All set.
Where have you come from?
I don't know.
Her eyes twitch a little. She's staring you down. Why are you here?
I have been called due to an incident after Pival was in the middle of welcoming the crowd.
Of what have you been accused?
Of causing this unfortunate situation due to the audience and what has happened since.
And she considers that one. How much does Navos believe he is the cause of this?
I would say it's been
2 weeks since you looked at me.
I was just about to do that.
yeah.
So was I!
I mean, quick out of that.
It's been changing off and on. I would say right now he feels a little more calm, but it's still well above 70%.
Okay. Tell me of Pival Seal, child of Yogton, the keeper of meadows, avatar of the wilds.
A very collected person. Not having spent much time, I have high respect and wish to also see what happened in honor of him and of yours.
You seem uninjured, and yet you were part of things. Why were you involved?
A druid I had met the first day arriving at Alreth unfortunately ended up becoming part of this situation. I am not a fighter myself, so I attempted to help Duncan specifically to get her away from the group. And in the future fights throughout the day, I used magical abilities to stay back. I know that I cannot handle much.
Duncan specifically. Not the others. Not Thane.
They did what
Explain.
they believed in. They did what they believed in. But to be perfectly honest, I consider Duncan currently the leader and believe that he had the best idea of what I wished would have happened.
Who would speak for you amongst this crowd?
GM, do I see the druids in the crowd?
You do not. Because Navos remembers seeing them trying to leave last night.
Sari.
I will.
And she turns to look at you.
Moving up towards the rim of the crowd.
Solidarity.
And she'll gesture for you to stand by Navos.
That step into the ring takes Brun. It takes a solid 5 seconds for Brun just staring at that line before overcoming that inertia and stepping in, and standing beside Navos on the left hand side, where
So you've
where
crossed in
Kevin's
front of him. Okay.
where Kevin was standing.
I
for
see.
Duncan.
I see. Yep.
Sort of matching that decor. Yeah.
Yeah. And she'll look up to you because you are towering over her. Dogs are still bigger. Big
actually-
buffers.
Actually, as he approaches, he will kneel to be closer to height, but it is a tucked and confined kneel
Okay.
to that position.
She's still gonna have to look up towards you, but
That's fine. But yeah, less towering, but kneeling. Yeah.
And who are you that would
Brun.
speak for Navos?
Brun Zayan.
Hey, Curtis.
Yes.
How honest is that?
Half honest.
Can you make for me a deception?
$17 plus 4 for a 21.
18 plus 9.
Oh, fuck!
Yeah, outplay.
Fuck! Oh, I was happy with that number.
Yeah, you were.
I was like, we're in the 20s. Let's see what Oh, no.
This is her thing.
I know.
The dog to her left, the one the dog to her right, the one that's eye to eye with you, starts to growl low. I assume you're familiar with, like, the octobase?
Yes.
It's like a
yes.
step up from that. Like, this is a very deep rumble that vibrates the ground beneath you just a little. She squints her eyes at you. Brunzayan, who are you to speak for Navos?
I fought alongside them.
You fought. Why?
To protect others and for my own survival.
Is Navos honest?
Unapologetically so.
How much do you believe that?
Wholeheartedly. Navos has never told a lie, and Navos has seen. Yeah, Navos has been unflinchingly forthright, even when it causes discomfort.
That dog's growling stops. Thank you, Brun Zayn. She gestures for you to leave the dais.
Brun will go to the seat behind and sit.
I'd also like
Okay.
to give Brun just a quick pat on the shoulder as they start
A little squeeze.
Little squeeze.
Always with the squeezing.
It's not.
Commonality. It's just like
It's-
thanks, bro. Bros squeeze each other. It's just you just don't get it.
When you squeeze, the skin doesn't quite give.
There's not as much
correctly.
give, yeah.
It doesn't, like you like muscly dudes. This is weirdly firm. And Brun does not.
Thick jello.
Brun doesn't even like look to you. Brun's eyes are locked on something 1,000 miles away.
Mhm.
You do notice that your hand comes away a little bit slick with sweat.
Besides what I already have, like myself.
Yeah. There's a little extra
Mine's
sweat.
cold. Mine's cold.
It's clammy. Ugh.
But will sit and not cross his arms like he's the Bowser who runs the place. He takes the seat and rests his hands in his lap while waiting.
She nods. Just a little slight nod. And to you, Navos. Thank you for your honesty. And she'll gesture for you to step back. Who's coming up next?
Thane.
All right, Thane. Once again, she stands, announces herself. Who are you?
Squire Verdance, Thane of the Celestial Collective.
Hand goes out to shake yours.
Take it.
Where have you come from, Squire Verdance?
City-state of Seneca, far west of here.
And why are you here?
We wanted to show the people of this community a better path.
Of what have you been accused?
Of hurting this community.
Tell me of Pyval Sayal, child of Yogton, keeper of meadows, avatar of the wilds.
Ival was beautiful. They were the most beautiful person that we've ever seen. But more than that, they were kind. And they wanted to do right by the people here. That was all that was on their mind when we were with them. They were good.
Where did you get your injuries?
Fighting for this community.
You fought for this community. Why?
Thane's going to look across the crowd. Because we love them.
How much do you believe that?
With every ounce of themselves.
Who would speak for you?
We would hope that whoever has seen us in action and whoever is brave enough would stand up for us the way we have stood up for them. And again, Thane is looking across the crowd, trying to lock eyes with anyone that they've met.
What would they say?
We cannot presume to speak for them. We don't want to do that. But we would hope that they would say that we did the right thing.
Andrew, can you roll for me a D100?
I can't. That's a 70.
Your eyes search the crowd, one person after the other. You recognize a fair few of them from town, from your time spent prior to the festival. Your eyes fall on Kanala, sitting next to a terrified Kevin. She is sat gripping her bowl. Her eyes glance toward that hallway where you know Brell lays. She looks to you, eyes locked, and stands up. I would. And she will start making her way up towards you. She stands tall and proud next to you. I would speak for Thane. Who are you that Thane has not named? Kunal Pue, owner of the Durable Draft. Who is Thane to you? Thane was my helper for a while. They helped our business, my boys. They became family. Not by blood, but by action. Are they truthful? They got things to hide. Everyone does. But when it mattered, truth coming out. Always. Jepka kind of looks at Kunala, appraising her as well. Nods a little, gestures for her to return to the crowd. And she kind of looks down to you, Kunala does, and little nod to you, Thane. Good. I'll see you for dinner.
I'll sign back. I'll see you soon.
She smiles and walks. Brun, are you going to step up?
When she asks, or when Thane returns to their seat, Brun will move up and settle into that same subservient kneel.
And she'll look at you for a little bit longer, taking in your face. Introduces herself. Hand is extended for yours. Who are you?
Brun. And will reach out to take her hand.
Shakes your hand, takes her seat. The dogs are focused a little more intently on you than they had been for everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Where have you come from?
Kahlo.
Why are you here?
Work.
Of what have you been accused?
The murder of Pival Sial, child of Jotun and keeper of the meadows.
Tell me of Pival Sial, child of Jotun, keeper of meadows, avatar of the wilds.
Curious, kind, and excitable.
Where did you get your injuries?
Combat. Fighting our way here.
You fought. Why?
The survival of myself and my compatriots.
Who would speak for you?
No one.
I would.
I would.
We would.
Her eyebrows kind of raise a little. Looking to you, Brun. What would they say?
We could say
I
it.
do not know.
She looks past you, Brun, to the other three. Is Brun honest?
Probably not.
I think he can be.
From what I've seen, yes.
How much do you believe that, Navos? After everything that's been said.
Really trying to. Absolutely not 100%, but is really hoping.
To the entire group of you. My word is final, and I face no consequences. Why should I not end you here and now? And the heat radiating off of her raises. Her eyes are glowing at this point. You see a couple extra, kind of above the forehead, down onto the cheeks. Very symmetrical, very perfect.
Ian's gonna step forward. You have asked us many questions today. May I ask you one?
She turns to you. Ask.
This crowd has now been made aware of what each of us is accused of. May they also be made aware of our accuser.
Your accuser is not here for inquisition. My judgment is solely on you four. Should you wish to raise inquisition against your accuser, you may present them in the great city, Kahlo.
You asked us why you should not end us here. I think given our answers, and given what we have tried to sacrifice for this community, you should know, and all them out there know, that that would not be fair. But if that's what the community wants, and Thane's actually going to turn away from her and face the crowd and kneel, then that is what we will take.
She looks to the rest of you.
He'll accept his judgment.
Eyes shift. Looking to the rest of you.
Also, Doug is turning towards the crowd to kneel as well. So we're all looking at them.
I come to many festivals for decades to try to foresee what has happened, what could happen, not just for the meadows themselves, but also for the people. I have read a few here. From what I've seen, I am almost always correct. From the cards I pull to the poems I read, if I would have seen something happen, I would have immediately alerted the guards in Marlos. I have no clue what happened, but whatever it is, I believe this was some unknown catalyst. And I hope I can see more for you all. For what could be answered. And I'll kneel as well.
Turns to you, Brun.
Brun stays kneeling, facing Jebka. The Divines lost one of their sons today. If our blood is recompense, so be it.
The dogs both stand on either side of her as she steps up as well. This inquisition is over. By my station, you are cleared of the accusations laid against you by Lord Silverwater. Any who would go against my ruling may speak to me directly, here and now. She takes a pause, waiting. Inquisition is not without risk. It is not without cost. The gods are not the only ones who have lost a son. As the one who bore Pyval Seol, I would have you four find answers. You have 1 year. In 1 year's time, we meet again in the city of Kalo for the conclusion of this Inquisition. And she will flare just a little to kind of punctuate her command. There's no magic behind this. But it does carry a lot of seriousness. And that feels like a good place for a potty break. So Curtis can go clean his pants.
Man, Alexis, that twist. So well done.
Thank you. Thank you. So let's go ahead and take, what do we think, like a 10-minute bio break? Seem good?
Sure.
Man, I'm sad that I showered before the session, because that would just make the whole cleanup much easier. But no.
But what
fuck
about
it.
second shower?
I want to fucking...
All right, back in 10. I will see you all in a bit.
Goodbye. Man, good job, guys.
We did it. We won our court case. We're all lawyers.
Man, I had written out like a closing argument, and I just decided this isn't the time. This isn't.
We'll save it for the
this
next
isn't
one.
right.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll be back in court before
I was
too long.
gonna rage on about class warfare and us being on the receiving end of the have and the have-nots, and
Yeah, time and place. Time and place.
oh.
Oh, Brun, thank you so much. I did not want to
Yo.
throw the little kid artist up.
No, I got you. I honestly was not expecting. Brun went up there not expecting any of you guys to vouch for him.
We're brothers in arms now. You know?
Well, hey, he's been looting bodies. He basically was like, "Yo, dude, I'm part of a criminal enterprise." To Duncan on their first day, like he's
You
not.
know what?
He's
When
not
we were at the
exact-
festival and the kids came by and you were throwing them up there, it seemed like you were genuinely having fun with the children. And I think that speaks volumes to Duncan.
Yeah.
That down in the core of you, you are a good person. And that's enough for Duncan.
Yeah. No,
I was hoping we would get the opportunity to each say what we thought about Brun, but maybe Thane will tell you later.
there'll be
Also-
other inquisitions. I'm sure.
Yeah,
of it.
okay, we'll be up here again.
We'll get
Before we
put to
know
the
it.
question later.
Save it for 1 year later from now. Let's see what we can get up to.
Yeah, I was,
So I will say, Brun, this is like just a thought that I was having, that if Brun turns out to be some paladin in disguise, or like your oath is like some weird criminal thing, and like this kid is like divinity, and you're the oath of something, you're the paladin of something, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Nameless is a paladin too, so
Well-
we're just like a weird group of paladins.
That would
Listen.
be so funny.
You know the dogs got unhappy about something as soon as he started talking. So,
Well, you lied about your name.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Weird. It says Brunzayan on my character sheet.
That's weird.
It's just a nickname.
Don't worry
That's what I
about
put
it.
in my notes.
But yeah, no, I'm real that was genuinely like if Brun hadn't gotten the call from his boss beforehand, he would have been way more nervous about the Inquisition. Like completely
point.
like locked in, unflappable, like what are they gonna do? Turn me to dust? Oh no.
Yeah, that's a great
Oh.
point.
Like yeah, firmly on the hook. So it's like, or we need to expedite. We need to get this thing moving. But no, and yeah, Brun meant every single word that he said about Namos. Like,
I was gonna bring up like the palm reading. Like, in a way, I know your history, and I don't think. I think you're fighting for it, and you're not. You haven't caused it. Everything. I need answers.
Yeah. I can't wait. I love actually having some intrigue in my backstory. Hooray!
Hooray!
I'm actually gonna use the bathroom though. I'll see you guys.
We got 5.
BRB.
So.
Alexis, are you back?
What?
You're back. Hey.
I am. Hello. Welcome back.
So, we could chat more about this at the end, but I don't know how many more 6:30 games I'll be able to swing.
Okay.
Just because we're 3 weeks out from the new baby, and there's so much stuff on the to-do list. Like, as soon as I got home from work, I was cutting the grass, and then I was right here. And we get our new deck started tomorrow, and there's just a whole lot going on. So I don't know if we are able to push it back an hour later on Mondays, or if it's cool if I just like hop in like an hour later. But yeah, like between 6:30 and 7:30 is like
There's prime time for doing stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of like bedtime stuff too with Colin that like I don't get to do. So
yeah,
if it works for everyone, or if you guys are cool with me just not being here for the first hour or so. It might be closer to 30 minutes or 45 minutes, depending on how the night goes. But
I mean, personally, I'm fine with starting like
We could start at
7:30. Yeah,
Yeah.
7:30, and then wherever you pop in after that, that's fine. Works
yeah,
for me.
I would.
No, family
I'd
should
appreciate
take
it.
priority.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
It's
Well,
just a silly.
I don't know.
sometimes take priority. Sometimes you gotta play D&D first. Sometimes- Kids,
So
calm down.
that said, I don't know how late you guys are able to play, but I could always do a little bit later too. Like on the back end, it's everyone here's asleep, hopefully, so less of an issue.
Hopefully not too late. I do have to wake up early for the
I was gonna say,
work in the morning.
I could do like
Yeah.
10:30 or 11 or whatever.
I think I would
just throwing
aim
it
for
out there.
10 generally as our cutoff, because I also have to get up stupid early the next day, usually.
Yeah.
And I know Derek's got stuff. So, yeah, let's say about 7 in the future here for the next couple weeks, see how that works out. If we need to
Yeah.
bump it back a little bit later, too.
Yeah.
I don't have a
Appreciate it.
timeline for this game, so
Forever.
Yeah, I mean it's a shame because like our
I mean, if
current
it's any
length is, like,
indication,
perfect.
we've played 8 sessions in the same 6 hours. So, if it were
not
a whole
exactly
year,
speedy.
I think I'll literally die of old age before we finish.
quality over quantity. But yeah, I agree with you, Andrew, that like time wise, I think has been working out pretty well. But like last week when we had our shorter session, like that timing also felt just fine.
That's true.
You know,
And
So-
yeah, having this slightly shorter session, and also like we're all still kind of in the like you guys figured shit out about each other last week. And so like
Figured out a lot of
now
stuff.
we're unveiling parts of the characters, and so we're getting out of the like I'm couched in intrigue. Ooh, who's that edgy man in the corner? It's like, no, we know who we fucking are. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean
Ren
except for
has
Nameless.
never been full of intrigue. Let's just put that out there.
And unlike
This
the
is
other
nothing
group,
but
Andrew and I play in, like, we at least get into it, like, immediately.
Yes. Yeah. We don't do too much banter in the beginning. But speaking of banter being done, break time's over.
For sure.
So, Jepka has made her proclamation. She's delivered her ruling to you first and foremost. Secondarily to the crowd. Many of them are still confused at this display. While her voice was strong and carried a decent bit, it didn't reach everyone in the crowd. Like, some people had to push forward if they wanted to hear what was happening, but there was no pressure for them to be part of it. Many of them did come in closer to figure out what's happening and to at least witness what was going on. And as she makes this final declaration and gives you your commandment, really, your task to meet her in a year, there is a finality to her words. You all have the understanding that she will see you in a year in Kahlo. There is no question to her. This is reality. This is the truth of the matter. She will see you in a year. And Brun, you were expecting like zone of truth, like command, control person, whatever. None of it. None of it. You also weren't really expecting her to agree to a crowd, to an audience. She has stood up, dismissed the dogs. They stand, circle once, and become those small motes of light that circle her halo. And you hear her kind of breathe out. And she relaxes just a little, but not dropping that tight posture of the person in command, right? She turns and steps down, returning to that side hallway. You can see just a glimpse of the bishop at the end of that hallway, the entrance rather to that hallway. You get the feeling that he was watching as well. And they start talking as she's walking away. If any of you would like to interrupt her leaving or anything like that, you have a brief moment to do so.
Thane's gonna lean forward to Duncan, and in a almost stage whisper, just so you can hear it. You should tell her about us trying to get to see the Archbishop. She might be able to facilitate that in some way.
That will require us showing her the sigil that we haven't shown her yet.
I think that would make sense. I mean, she would probably know more about the sigil than most people, considering her relationship to Pybel.
I'm inclined to agree with you.
What are you guys doing?
And as she's walking away, I'm kind of standing up. I see her heading towards that hallway. I'm gonna kind of walk up to her and like, hey, can I have a moment? Kind of fashion, like real quick. Excuse me. Do you have a moment?
She's still talking to the bishop, and you see him kind of turn, acknowledge you, and she finishes what she was saying. And yes, Duncan Dubois.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
And there's less stiffness to it. There's less ceremony behind it. You get the feeling that by repeating your names, she is committing them to memory.
Mm-hmm. First off, it is with deepest sympathy. I am truly sorry for your loss.
She holds a hand up to stop you.
I didn't know. And
it is not something often advertised. The
I can understand
lineage
why.
of Aasimar.
Which makes this next thing probably maybe a little hard.
Her eyes narrow a little.
We did it! We did it all!
Before
Had you believed it? No.
Before your son passed away, he gave me this. It might be the only lead. And I'll pull out the sigil and show it to her. He commanded me to get it to the Archbishop. Now that we have our task, I'm wondering if you might be able to facilitate our meeting with the Archbishop.
She's crying.
And I'm gonna kind of like stand, like I don't know if anybody can see into this hallway from like the where we were just where the community and stuff like that. I'll kind of put myself between her and the community so that nobody can see her having any emotional response to this. Kind of give her some privacy.
She is openly crying as she looks at this holy symbol. And with the utmost tenderness, she reaches a hand out toward it.
And I'll let her
Do you
have
let
it.
her take it?
I do.
Her hand is shaking a little.
And as she's taking it, I'm just very like subtly kind of like putting my hand on hers as she takes it, and I'm releasing it as soon as she moves her hand away. So kind of like, I'm so sorry.
What did he say to you? when he gave you this?
He told me to take it to the Archbishop. That there would be some answers for us there.
Tell him what happened.
Did you come up behind as well, Thane?
Yeah, I imagine Thane's like close, kind of helping like block any view of what's going on here.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have wanted anyone to see that a sigil got pulled out.
She's nodding gently as she kind of looks up and above you, off to the side a little, not really paying attention to you, but lost in her memory, probably. Thinking of Pyvel. That one question she had asked all of you, tell me of Pyvel Seal. It hits a little different at this moment. That was his wish.
Yes, ma'am.
We will see it done. She turns back to you. I believe, she turns to the bishop, we may have an opportunity sooner than you could imagine.
Would be most fortuitous for us.
Take some time and prepare to leave town.
Absolutely.
Mr. Dubois,
Yes.
I found it irrelevant to the Inquisition. I would like to talk about the marks you all bear.
I thought you might.
The bishop here, she gestures toward him, has informed me that that is not a conversation that has been had yet.
We weren't sure who to talk to about it. We have no understanding what it is, and best keep those things close until you have more answers.
Again, she's nodding in agreement.
Mm.
Take some time to prepare yourselves. And before you leave, we will all sit down. She kind of like looks around, like looks past you toward Brun. All of us.
I'll make sure he attends.
We will have that conversation.
Sir Jebka and Thane's like their back is to the conversation, kind of still looking out at the crowd to make sure no one's looking out this way. We're sorry we didn't notice the resemblance before. We see now where Pyvel got their goodness. And Thane's just gonna walk off after the conversation's done.
Oh, that's me as a person. Oh. And if that's all you would like to say to Jepka, they're gonna turn back to continue talking with the bishop.
What did she do with the sigil? Did she take it and put it in her pocket, or she?
She's still holding it. If you would have gestured to get it back, she would have returned it. But for now, she's spending a little bit of time with it.
Yeah, and so if it's not too much, can I have that back?
Of course. Of course.
Thank you. I will be
son
sure to
made that.
say he did, and I want to honor his last wish as best as I can.
Have you spent much time actually looking in detail at this holy symbol?
Not with the amount of like chaos that's just going on. Like we really
Yeah.
like barely slapped. we've been talking to people from here to here. These sigils on our arms. I don't think I've had really a moment to just like sit down and look at it.
Yeah.
besides,
When
like,
she says
cursory
that,
work.
it pops into your head a little bit. You've heard of certain paladins, particularly those in cities or ASMR from cities, where their individual holy symbol is something that they themselves will make. It will change as their life progresses. It is a very deeply personal item. So when the bishop was like, "You have that?" question mark. That's why. It is not something given up typically.
And I think that's why Duncan maybe it doesn't understand it, appreciate it until right at this moment. I think that's why Duncan wants it back. Is yes, this is your son's sigil and things like that, but this isn't something easily given, and so it's something not easily given away.
Respectable. Yes. Make your preparations, Duncan and companions. You hear her mention toward you, Thane, as you're walking away. We will speak later.
Thank you, ma'am. Please make sure you get something for breakfast. It's been a long day for all of us, and I'll walk away with that too.
Maybe a second breakfast.
There we go.
Perhaps a
Cram in
second
as many jokes as we can. Perhaps three again. About tea time.
You other two, you're still up on the dais as those couple are walking away. What are you up to?
This whole time, I am still sat in the chair, just heavy breathing at first, but starting to calm down. And I'll notice Thane and Duncan walking away. At this point, if I can see that they're going to talk to Jepka, can I watch the audience?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Two things. One, is there anyone similar to after the situation with Pival and you had those group of people walking away? Do I see anybody there? As well as, is there anyone watching Thane, Duncan, and Jepka talking?
Excellent questions. Those are going to require a roll.
I was thinking if he was looking in the crowd to make sure that nobody else is a surprise mother-son duo. Just so we don't get to this again.
Do you have any more kids?
Listen, the father-son duo's on stage right now. Navos is my dad.
Oh, you guys made out.
Surprise.
Ew.
All
Never
right,
mind.
so-
Navos is my stepdad.
Shush. So, Navos, Derek, make for me, please. Do you want to do insight, investigation, perception, survival? I don't know. What do you want to roll?
Investigation, and I'll enter the cyclotrance again.
Okay.
For advantage.
Give me that roll.
Just one for now.
Just one for now. We'll start with your first question.
That might be enough. Yeah, 23.
23. That was a clang. What did you just roll that die into?
I'm practicing my
Like a Yeti cup.
ASMR into my water bottle.
Ugh, I hate it. Thanks.
My mistake.
The best way to get me to stop listening to what you guys are talking about, start clanging things around.
I'll bring
Don't
pots
even-
and pans.
Don't even, Curtis. So your first question, let's start with who's in the crowd.
Yeah.
As you are focusing, you enter this hyper focus of yours where the object of your inquiry is all you are looking for. Everything else kind of falls away. You scan face after face after face. There are a couple of individuals in the crowd that are familiar from the, we'll say ground zero. We'll call it ground zero.
Mhm.
You actually see one of the druids has held back, is still here. You're not sure why. You thought all of them had left. This is a younger looking one from the group, but you had spent enough time with Jurgensen and the druids that you do see this one. So that stands out. Excuse me. That stands out to you.
Okay, they weren't all Dragonborn, were they?
No.
Okay.
Nope, there was a mix. This one half elf.
Okay.
I will say that their name was Lanoth Kalagathai. I will send that in chat.
Thank you.
That's a lot of syllables.
How many Scrabble points is that fucking worth? Jesus.
That one's actually not Scrabble legal.
Oh, because there's an apostrophe in it. Oh no.
True.
Oh, it's also
True.
proper now.
Oh,
It's also
proper name.
Elven, so like
I always like seeing
Now-
how close I can get.
Anything is Scrabble legal if they don't challenge it. I learned that
I
lesson
don't know
a long time ago.
how Scrabble
It-
works. So
I used to play in Scrabble tournaments as a kid, and anything is legal as long as it's not challenged.
we're getting Evan lore, and
Honestly,
I'm here for it.
here's the thing, Evan. I say this in the kindest way possible. I'm not surprised.
True.
I actually participated in duos. We would have partners. You have a partner. My partner was always
Okay.
Paul. Sorry.
Okay. Save that
Save it
lore
for
dust for
afterwards.
later.
Yes.
Save that for the
For the
after
lore
show.
event.
Still gets
So
us really
yeah,
into Scrabble.
Lenoth.
Elven Scrabble.
So you do see him. As far as individuals from that initial group, you were mid panic attack being puppeted
Yeah.
and bleary eyed because you were crying through it all, trying to block it out. So, you do not see anyone that is recognizable from that event,
Okay.
that initial event. You also asked about anyone paying attention to the hallway. So give me a new roll for that. I will allow you to continue using your cyclotrance because I'm nice like that.
17.
Okay. As you're scanning those faces, kind of cataloging them all briefly, there are some people with like a casual curiosity where they're like, this lady just handed out a proclamation and walked away, and now the people she was interrogating are following her. The heck is that about? Like just genuine confusion about the entirety of this morning so far, which by this point, like half an hour has passed since the sun has started rising. Time is a soup, and I cannot be bound by it. So you see a few people who are like trying to figure out what just happened. You see a woman kind of on the outskirts toward the back with like long straight hair kind of hanging down. And she has a particular interest in you and Brun up on the dais. She's keeping an eye on that. And you see her kind of glancing back and forth between you two and the two that followed Jepka. And you also see a different individual, very nondescript. Kind of like how Thane is very nondescript, usually. If Thane had a twin. No. But a very common-looking person. very intense look after the other two. So that is what I will grant you.
Perfect. Thank you.
Did you ask any other questions that I neglected? My brain can only hold so much for about 3 minutes.
Grave a
No,
goldfish.
that was it.
All right. Brun, what are you doing?
Brun has a similar, like, kind of zonked out look on his face. And sits there for a little while, before pulling himself up to his feet, walking over to Navos. Thank you.
Thank you as well.
I may have a favor to ask when we have some solitude.
Of course. Especially if it involves the boy.
It's precisely that. Do I get the sense that you were just, like, clocking things out in the crowd?
I'd imagine, after seeing that I'm breathing normally again.
I think you would have seen the intense focus of Navos, that eye scanning each face. Walking over, you would have had to poke him a little.
They're, like, sort of pulling you out of the poke. What do you see?
There is a druid I need to talk to. I can do that alone, but there are two out there that have been watching not just us, but the other two as well.
Don't point.
Of course.
But where and what do they look like? Oh, perfect. You're already ahead of me. Awesome.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I love that.
Ahead of us, long-haired woman watching each of us slightly intently, but towards the back, to the right, a common person does not look too enthused with Jepka and the rest. I did not see the group that you have all mentioned at the first event, but I would not be surprised if some of them could be here.
GM, looking around the room real quick. Acting casual. Can I clock the two individuals that Navos has pointed out?
Give me a perception check. I will grant
With
you
advantage.
advantage.
Hell yeah. Natural 20. For a 21. Listen, I got above a 20 and it's not against the plus 9. I get to actually
Just looking around the room.
Yeah, you can seize them.
Yeah.
The woman toward the back, toward
Is
the
she my
outskirts of
problem?
the crowd.
Is she my
Yeah.
previous problem? No,
Yeah,
that
you
bitch.
know that problem.
Okay, great. Clock's
Oh, no,
moving on.
sorry. Different problem. The usual problem. The sneaky problem.
Oh, problem from...
It's Vox.
She-
You recognize this disguise.
that fucking double take though that happens, or it's like, dude, and just like, just like kind of an eye roll, and I'm just like, don't
Don't worry about the blonde. She dyes it. And then turns to go look for the
How
and then goes
dare
looks
you.
for the other one. Looks for the other person who's a problem. That's being
Yeah.
is super intense. My gut says that so like Brun's gut is like this is gonna be Silverwater's like lackey or page, like somebody Silverwater sent to watch the proceedings rather than be there themselves. My best bet, like they dress like a commoner, but the clothes are too clean. They're still too pressed. That's my assumption when I look for this person. I'm happy to be wrong.
Okay. I mean, yeah, you see them. Navos did an excellent job of
Hell
identifying
yeah.
their like key features for you and describing where in the room they were. So, yeah, you spot the two in question. While you're looking as well, you see Kanala has made her way out of the room. Kevin is nowhere to be seen at this point.
Yep.
The druid, you don't really pick out.
Yeah.
Trying to think if there's anyone else of interest. I mean, you saw that the bishop was over where Jepka went.
Mhm.
So you did clock that as well.
Yeah, mostly focused on those two individuals.
Yep.
And so sort of making my way off the dais.
Making my way.
I will like as I say the thing about the blood, I'll be like, should we talk to the other one?
I'd say so.
Let's go have a chat. And step across the dais and move through the crowd near that individual, not beelining towards him, but I want to kind of move past and then reach out and grab and bring them with me. Just like, hi, let's have a
So,
chat.
when you were looking around at the crowd,
Yeah.
did you make eye contact with the woman on your double take?
I think if I didn't make eye contact, there's no way Vox didn't see the eye roll.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Vox clocked that 100% because that's what Vox wants.
Mm-hmm.
So
Heard you talking crap about my blonde.
yeah, just the audible eye roll told is Vox being like, "Ding, I got you! I've been spotted." The little red exclamation mark pops above his head.
Must have been the wind. So, as you start making your way through the crowd, I'm thinking that's my joke. No, I'm thinking this will require from both of you some kind of roll. I'll make it a joint roll where you can both make your individual rolls. We will average them out to coordinate this pincer maneuver. I'm doing great. I worked 8 days straight this week,
You're doing so
and
good.
it's been awful.
Davis, what are you thinking? To pinch in on this guy who's looking at all 4 of us.
I will say, Duncan and Thane, about this time, Thane, you've been watching the crowd anyway. Would you have looked at your companions at all?
Yeah.
Or were you focused on the crowd too?
Mostly on the crowd, but yeah, and seeing that their companions were still sitting up there, and they would have seen Navos eyeballing the
Literally eyeballing the crowd. Yeah, I think that you would very clearly see the two of them start making their way down through.
Can't say your own joke. Someone else has to say it.
Tee.
Faces pass.
Third time's the charm. Dang it. No, so you would see them passing through the crowd. Passing down into the crowd. And I think they could have a moment to try and signal to you if they would want to, what they're doing. Duncan, around this time, you would be turning around as well.
But Duncan is not looking at his companion. He's not looking at Thane or seeing them move. His concern is the very traumatic boy that he had led up in front of this, Archangel of the Sun, who looks very afraid. I need to find Kevin because he has gone through some shit, and I would.
He's
be
also
honored-
deposited some.
Yes, probably.
Anyway.
He probably needs his pants changed. But I need to make sure that he's eating breakfast,
Ron.
and I need to make sure that he is in a space where he feels comfortable. So I'm looking for Kevin. I'm not
Okay.
looking at whatever they're doing.
Yeah, you're gonna have to pass your way all the way to the other side of the room,
Mhm.
to try and find him.
Yeah, and
So-
I'll head off in that direction.
Yep. Perfect.
Thane's gonna go, oh, Duncan. Oh, no, it's fine. And Thane's gonna go
I'm-
after the other two.
Nothing could stop me.
Yeah, Thane's gonna go with the others and let Duncan do his thing.
All right. So, what roles are we making, boys?
So I'd like to pretend I'm going to talk to the druid. We'll do that later, but to try to get the person so I'm facing their back, and then try to look directly at Thane and Duncan. Just to at least get their
All right.
attention, and then I'll close in on this person.
So, what role are you feeling for that? Deception?
Yeah, deception works. Stealth, yeah, we'll go deception.
All right. And Brun, what role are you making? What'd you get there, Derek?
18. 13 plus 5.
I think Brun's. Can I also use deception, or does it have to be a different role?
Sure. Use whatever you want.
I'm gonna. So we're not rolling the same thing. I'm gonna intimidate again because that worked pretty well.
All right.
And it's like trying to like buff up and just like fill the space a little more. So the guy who's watching us is like, no, don't pay attention to me, and like stays rooted, like a prey animal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want him to bolt. before
And
Mavis
Thane,
is in position.
what are you rolling?
So before I roll anything, are there any blankets or like I guess blankets specifically like laying about in this area since this is kind of like a refugee camp at the moment?
Yeah, you can find one. Easy enough.
Yeah, there's one that's unoccupied. Thane's going to pick that up and drape it over themselves, and they're
just
gonna like
a
turn away
blanket.
so like no one's paying attention. They're gonna take their helmet off, and as they do, they're gonna change their features into an old woman.
Okay.
And they're gonna hide the helmet underneath the blanket as well, and they're gonna try to like hobble over to the backside of this guy if he decides to take off. Can I roll stealth with advantage?
I will allow stealth. I will not allow the advantage, just
So,
because
am I
there are
able-
3 rolls going on here.
Yeah.
So you're working as a group anyway.
I normally have disadvantage because of my heavy armor, so can I cancel out my
Mm.
disadvantage? 'Cause,
That I will allow.
Grandma's got the clanks.
Don't worry about it. It's my joints, Yuri. Curtis, what did you get for intimidation? Mm-hmm.
5. But that's a natural 1 on the die. I feel like I spooked him, gentlemen.
Can I... I'm going to be nice here, and do you have any sort of anything for re-rolling that? You don't have any,
Can I use my
Advantage
inspiration?
or
Or is it only for
inspiration?
myself?
Hold on. Curtis, do you have an inspiration?
I have nothing.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Derek, look deep into the camera. I need to see how pleading you are. All right, I'll allow
Don't
it.
make it weird.
I'll allow it. No. There it is. Okay. Beseech me. Yes, I will allow you to grant your extra roll.
Derek, thank you.
Of course.
That is a 19 for a 23.
All right. And
Right,
then,
take it back.
That's the most fickle die I have at the table, and I love it.
fantastic. And then, Andrew, what'd you get for your stealth?
17.
17. Do. All right,
Drawing
averages
some
out to a
equipment.
little over 19. Sweet. Let me roll. Okay, yeah, nope. Yeah, so the individual who was staring intensely was looking over toward Thane and Duncan as you all started kind of maneuvering. Duncan started walking through the crowd, and this individual focused on Duncan. Kind of stopped for a moment, paying attention to the rest of you. You kind of triangulate around this guy, and you have the opportunity here. Brun, you said you're going to just kind of snatch the guy?
Is he sitting? Like, is he sitting at a table? Is he like?
He was standing with the crowd, kind of partway in the middle of it. So Granny's approaching from one side. The big-eyed buddy is coming in from a different angle, and then the giant mountain of a man is coming in from a different angle.
Yeah, just like kind of scoot, be like, as they kind of come up, be like, oh, it's good, like, kind of be like, oh, and like sort of scoop the arm, like kind of like carry him along with me and get him off the ground a little bit, so like the tips of his feet are sort of dragging across the floor. It's like, oh, here, let's get something to eat, and like like kind of carry this man away.
He struggles a little bit. You're gonna have to give me a grapple for this.
Oh, yes, please. I was made for this.
What? No.
Are we doing this as an attack roll?
Yeah, you might as well.
Yeah. This is less good. That's a 9. 14? To hit?
You go for the scoop, and your arm is around him, and up he goes. You've got him. He rolled a 2.
Oh, thank fuck.
Watching you all sweat a little, though, that was good.
Just
I
like, whoop, and just like kind of carry
You've
him
got
off
him
to
kind
a
of-
little more isolated.
You've got him cuddled against your side as you walk. Very friendly, very chummy. The other two manage to press in around on his other sides. So if he would
Thane's-
squirm free,
Thane's
he'd be
watching the
caught
rear,
instantly.
just in case anyone shows up behind us.
Okay, stop eyeing up Brun. What else are you doing?
Brun,
Never mind.
fully caked. I will find ourselves a confessional. To have a chit chat with this friend.
I was so confused for a brief moment why cake led to a confessional, but okay. Like, Curtis, we talked about this. It's not getting erotic.
not for lack of trying.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna make him confess.
So, Duncan, you're making your way
Moderate
through
version
this crowd. Dang it! You started something. So yeah, you're passing through this crowd. A couple of people try to like stop you a little bit to ask questions of like, what was going on up there? You know, that kind of thing. Especially the familiar ones.
Kind of decline those ones as I walk through.
No questions, please. No questions. And
Yeah.
you continue on. Where you had seen Kevin, he is no longer. But
Yeah.
you are familiar with where the kids had been, so you could probably check there.
That's where I'll go next.
Yeah, you head back the hallway. Curtis is melting into his seat.
Yeah, I'm like, why is Kevin walking away? Like,
Wow.
There's no
Yeah,
reason for him.
why?
to be scared of anybody, really.
Yeah, this is a safe place for Kevin.
This is a safe place.
Traumatized
Everybody is
little
treated so
child.
safely here.
So, yeah, you head back to the room where the kids had been hanging out. It's not very far back the hallway. Most of the more intense cases that needed care, those have been pushed further back through. Again, trying to keep them from the general group. And entering the room, you see several of the kiddos now awake with bowls of food. And
Perfect.
Kevin's there too. Shaking a little bit, clearly upset. Pretty intense reaction, but Jepka was pretty intense, so I guess
Yeah.
it's understandable.
Mhm.
And he doesn't really register that you've come in. They've been hearing footsteps and people coming and going all day. Whether new children have been added to the group or some questioned about, oh, have you seen so and so? Their parents are here looking for them, that kind of thing. So they're not really reacting to your presence at the moment.
So Duncan will walk up to the children and kind of like take a seat and kind of joke around with the kids. Like, oh, it's nice to see you guys are eating. And like, make sure you're eating. Like, I'll take the spoon and kind of like make sure
Help the littlest ones.
help the littlest one. There's a little airplane. Oh, here's a airplanes don't exist.
Here come the archangels.
Flight of the Valkyrie plays in the background. Here comes the Pegasus.
And kind of make my presence known to the children so that like even Kevin, who's probably not sitting right there, kind of knows, oh, Duncan is here.
Mm-hmm.
And
you are amongst the children.
How's everybody handling? How y'all holding up?
Oh, you're actually asking them that directly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ask the children.
Yeah. Most of them don't really know how to respond to that.
Mm-hmm.
Several of them start crying.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of them are like, I want my parents. I don't know where my mommy is, that kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And some of them just deadpan at you. That's where Kevin's at right now. You can see he's crying again as well. The oatmeal has rehydrated his tears a bit. Silent tears.
I think it's important that we stay strong. We kind of remember that we're in a moment and we're gonna get through it. That I can promise you. We're gonna get through this. Kevin, do you think I could talk to you for a minute? I just wanna to check in with you, bud.
And he turns to you and like starts to focus a little bit, and the bravado is gone.
Yeah.
This is just a scared little kid, and he nods a little, snotty and sniffly, and
when we come sit down,
he'll
over
start
here,
standing
we'll
up. He'll set his bowl down and start following you.
Mm-hmm. And I'm looking for like an empty pew or something. Just kind of sit down and talk to him.
Are you staying in the room with the rest of the children, taking them out? What do you?
If I could take them definitely out of earshot from the other children, somewhere that is secluded. Maybe if there's like an open bench or something in this room, or
yeah, we'll say there is. Why not?
And so just kind of take them into that space where it's just the two of us. Nobody's really overhearing us.
Mm-hmm.
Just to kind of sit
and
him
he's
down.
Just quietly sitting next to you. Still got a bit of that zombie movement to him.
Yeah.
Where he's doing the motions, but the person behind the eyes is very far away.
Hey, Kev. First and foremost, I know things are not going real great. And
Mr. Duncan?
Yeah.
Did you find my mom?
Truth be told, I haven't seen her. I'm gonna shoot straight with you, Kev.
Extra tears. Yeah.
But
Do you think she's out there? Or did she turn into one of those monsters?
let's not go there. That's not a healthy way of looking at it. I think she's still out there, and if anybody's gonna find her, it's the fine city guard and the paladins of Vidar, who will find your mom. And
Okay.
but
Mr.
more than that,
Duncan.
I think it's important to call out the good things, and what you did for me today. You know, standing up there. I know it was scary. I know it was intimidating, but it was brave.
She was really scary, Mr. Duncan.
She was.
And Brun was scary too.
Brunt? What do you mean?
He was really big and scary when I came out and told me to go sit with Miss Kunala and not let her go. But then she came up on the stage and I had to let her go for that. And I don't want him to know that I let her go.
It's okay, bud. It's
And he's gonna lean into you and
Mhm.
bury his face in your shoulder, or like in the
and
crook of your
full
arm.
embrace. I'm taking him, and like kind of like wrapping.
And he's shuddering into you.
Let it out. It's okay, buddy. It's okay.
The sound is starting now, where just the sobs, where everything is hitting all at once.
And I'm just
And-
gonna let him sit in that moment for as long as he needs.
Does anyone have any last anything for right now? Or shall we fade out on Duncan comforting Kevin? And the rest of
Comforting
you
and just
accosting a random stranger in the
Mhm.
crowd?
and Kevin, I'm so proud of you. You are going to be one hell of a man one day. I'm so proud of you.
And right now, it's hard to tell if he registered your words.
Doesn't matter.
Uh,
The
The words are said.
words are said, and just as unabashedly honest as Navos is proclaimed to be, Duncan, unabashedly honest, means every word of that.
Anyone else? All right. Well, thank you, friends, for joining me tonight.
Thank you.
I hope you had a traumatic time. Gotta
As we
give
all
you
did.
the
We're all
fun things
feeling a
and the
little-
sad things.
We're all feeling a little
uh,
Kevin on the inside.
Curtis feels really, really, really bad.
I would like
Oops.
to put forth a new emotion, feeling like a Kevin.
Oh no.
It's feeling pretty
Feel a
Kevin
little
in
Kevin
here.
today. Don't like that phrasing.
That's the episode
So-
title, though.
Oh no. Everyone feels a little like Kevin. Yeah, so cool. Thank you guys so much for being here. We will try for, what did we say, 7 next
7?
week?
Mhm.
Doing 7 next week?
Okay.
We'll do about 7 to 10.
What? Yeah. What kind of dickheads are we gonna be to be like, no, show up to my D&D on time, sure? Like,
I'll say it. I'll say it if nobody else will.
you're so brave.
We
Thank
were
you,
all
Kevin.
thinking it.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm
Oh,
feeling
this
a little
was-
Kevin
no.
right now. So
This
Kevin
was
should
great.
be I'm truly sad, but I'll stand up for my friends. Emotion. It's a new emotion.
Thank you for being here so much, my friends.
Thank you for having us.